in the West, where do Asian girls hang out? So guess who asked this? An African guy, actually, not a white guy, not an Asian guy. We need to find where these Asian girls are hiding. Just a little story before we get into it. I was in Lima, Peru back in, well, first was there in 2019, but in 2020, I went to a Chinese restaurant in Lima, and my wife's uncle uh saw these Chinese guys coming in, and they were like going upstairs, and he said in Spanish, "Those are the triads fresh off the boat." Now, it's not quite relevant to the question, but I just felt like saying that. It's like maybe there were some triads in a restaurant upstairs in the Chinese restaurant in Lima, apparently, but where are the Asian girls?
I mean, you got like in Toronto, you got Chinatown. So, I mean, if you want Asian girls, there's Asian clubs, there's Asian venues you can actually go to. So there's specific venues that will have more of that crowd, or certain neighborhoods that will have more of that.
I mean, that's about it. We like bubble tea, so boba shops, tapioca, even 85 degrees. That's a bakery, so stuff like that. Like Justin said, Chinatown is a big one, especially during nighttime. Bars in Chinatown, perhaps.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's some
Yeah,
clubs.
I actually have a funny story. So I have an assistant. He's been working with me for a couple of years, and he's from like New Delhi. Okay, he was like watching my videos back in India, and so we were working together for a couple of years. We became pretty good friends. We don't really hang out too much outside of the work stuff, and it was pretty funny because he told me he's like all my friends are fans of your content. Like they all follow me on social media, watch my videos, right? And he said, one of his friends who's like an Indian club promoter is doing an Indian club event, right? And he's like, dude, we want you to come. So I came out, and it was pretty nuts. Like everyone there already knew me, but a lot of the girls even knew me. But I just thought it was really interesting because this was a couple weeks ago, I'd never been to an Indian themed club event. And it was just like all Indian girls. There was one white girl in the entire venue. And so it was completely the opposite of what I'm used to because when I go to the club, it's just white chicks, or it's like very diverse, mostly white girls, right? And so I just thought that was really funny because there's those specific type of events that you can go to. Like, it depends on what city you're in, and obviously probably more common in bigger cities. But there are specific like nightclub events here in Toronto to meet Indian girls. There's specific nightclub events to meet Asian girls. So you could. I'm sure you could find a parallel, in London or New York or in any major city.
That's funny, actually. I was just thinking, when I first moved to London, I was invited to a club night that some guy I met was running, and I was the only white guy there. I took a Romanian woman with me. She was blonde, red dress, absolutely beautiful. And of course, white guy like me, I turn up just as the club is fucking opening. I was like completely new to the city, and we were like the only ones there. But as soon as midnight comes, it's just African people, African people, African people coming in. And I'm like, oh, this is strange. And they're like, what the fuck? What's this redneck guy doing here in this Romanian one? It's just so fucking random. Alrighty, Mike, I was saying,
Okay, so
yeah,
best
in
place
the
to
West,
meet
where do
Asian
Asian
girls.
girls hang out?
All right, so if you like ABG Vietnamese girls, go to Houston. Vegas clubs, tons of Asian girls, especially electronic music, Millennium concerts. I think a lot of Asian girls go to music festivals to have some feels because apparently their parents never hugged them, so they go to festivals to release their emotional outlets. Um, LA is good. Bay Area, Temple nightclub is good. New York, there's a place called Den Social. Seattle's got a lot of Asian girls. Universities, Orange County, a lot of places. Downtown LA, I used to go to this club called Belasco. It was all Asian themed. This is back like 10 years ago, so I don't know if it's still relevant or not. But yeah, I think the best bet is just Vegas nightclubs, man. It's probably 40-50% Asian girls, especially when a big DJ is playing. And like everybody else says, large cities, I think Asian people just like to congregate in major metropolitan areas.
Yeah, that makes sense. Aisen was talking about like bubble tea places. I was also thinking a Korean woman I was dating took me to a bingsu place, like a Korean ice cream kind of thing. And my name in Chinese is Bing Bai. So
Being
like Korea, I
yeah,
found Korean restaurants, for example, Korean ice cream places. Um, Maybe not so much Chinese restaurants because they're just everywhere in general. But yeah, that's just my experience.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, anything else?
Wait, is your wife Chinese or Asian? How do you know so much?
So actually here's the funny thing. My wife's nickname is China, which is China in Spanish. She's Native American, um, from Peru. So she's
Oh, that
like
makes sense why you're in Peru.
but she
Okay.
has an Italian name, so it just gets strange. But she's like Spanish, Chinese,
Yeah.
Peruvian, Italian, something like that.
Yeah. I think boba shops are okay if you're gonna take a girl on a date. Like it's a girl that you've already interacted with. I don't think there's enough volume at a boba shop for you to be like running game, right? It's just you're gonna blow out the whole place and be that. And also like most boba places, most girls are already with the people that they know. So it's like it's hard to like you want venues where there's high turbulence and like people moving around and not like you don't want to go to a venue where like everybody's locked into their own groups, right? You want like groups of two or three and they're moving out and about. It gives you more opportunities to like approach different groups and demographics. If they're just like stagnant staying there, it's really obvious. Like if you're running guns blazing, like everybody knows what you're doing. So that's why I tell people like volume matters. If you're a guy that's starting out and trying to get better with with women, you need to be in high volume places. Sometimes I'll get guys like, "Can I do Whole Foods? Can I meet girls at the gym?" Those are great places if you're already good. It's not a place where you ramp up your skill, because to be honest, like you need to be talking to hundreds, if not thousands, of girls to become competent. And it's just yeah, how many girls are you gonna meet at Whole Foods? You're not nothing, right? That's why Vegas Club, 2,000 women. You can talk to like 30 girls in a couple hours. You just get the volumes and reps in. So, I also personally do not like all Asian clubs. Okay, whenever you're in a homogenous club with one specific race, negative stereotypes kind of show up. I've been at all black club. Approaching a girl at an all black club with like every brother staring at me, that shit's fucking scary, right? So whenever you're at all like I think the best clubs are the ones that have every because the girls are more open minded, right? You just go to all Asian club, it's kind of stupid to be honest. Like if you're a white dude and you're at an all Asian club, it's like, well, why the fuck? Why are you there, dude? It's just awkward. That's my take. Don't go to all Asian.
I
Go,
agree,
go
man. I
somewhere where
agree.
there's like a little bit of everybody.
Mhm.
Better. Trust me.
But for this person, I think he's African, right? You said Ice. This person's
Oh, it
Yeah.
African, right?
doesn't matter. It's just
If you're a
if that's the
black dude
person
and
who
you're
asked the
going to
question.
all Asian club, that's the
No,
dumbest thing I've ever.
so from what I'm saying is like he could actually might be better off going to an all black club. And if you see
Oh,
an Asian person there at an all black club, then that means that
yeah.
person is probably into black
Sure.
people, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So maybe he could just do that.
Black put a Rapunji in
Or
Japan.
just ended up there accidentally, just like I did.
Well, I'll say
Like,
if
oh,
you're
I
black,
didn't know everyone was going to be African.
you're what was I gonna say? Um there's like 1% of Asian girls that are really into black. You just gotta find those pockets. Unfortunately, I'm Asian, so I don't know where those pockets are. It's there's that 1% that just really like Japanese girls or Korean, they just love black dudes. I don't know. You're
You can
gonna have to
tell like
talk.
most of the time they're thick, they got braids on,
Mhm.
and they have an attitude towards them. But anyways,
Yeah.
great point.
Another example similar to what Ison was saying. I also remember I went to a teppanyaki first time I ever went. One of the for anyone who doesn't know those Japanese places where they have like the grill and the chef does all this crazy shit with stuff and there are fucking fires and everything. I went to one in Lima in Peru And Peru actually has a very large Japanese population, one of the biggest diaspora of Japanese population. But in there, it was mostly Japanese people. So that's when I also remember it wasn't the same case when I went to a teppanyaki in London. It was just like mostly white people. But yeah, I guess there could be some subtle differences, but